Question. Welcome to hell. There's no one to save you now.
What's up, everybody? This is Keya from the Majesty channel on YouTube, and you are listening to the Devil's Den podcast, the show that discusses books, poetry, movies, and facts in the genres of horror, paranormal, and true crime genres for folks who love dark, mysterious, and terrifying content.
Welcome everyone to the Devil's Den podcast Playground of Horror series, where we delve into the darkest and most haunting stories from folklore and mythology. I'm your host, Keya Reed, and in tonight's episode, we are unearthing the sinister origins of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Get ready for a journey into the depths of darkness. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs may appear as an innocent fairy tale, but its origins are far from sweet. The story can be traced back to the 19th century German brothers, Jacob and William Grimm, who collected and published folklore under the title Grimm's Fairy Tales. Little did they know how twisted and horrifying the tale of Snow White would become. Our tale begins with a young princess named Snow White, whose beauty becomes the obsession of her wicked stepmother, the Queen. But in the original Grimm version, the Queen's motivations were not driven solely by vanity. She practiced dark and forbidden arts, dabbling in black magic and necromancy. The Queen's obsession with Snow White's beauty stemmed from her desire to harness the princess's life force. She believed that by consuming Snow White's heart, she can attain eternal youth and immortality. Yes, my lovely dark souls, this is the twisted reality that lies beneath the surface of the story we thought we knew. In the original tale, the Queen orders a huntsman to bring her Snow White's heart as proof of her demise. But here's the unsettling part. The huntsman actually complies. He cuts out Snow White's heart, but as he presents it to the Queen, he discovers she intends to devour it. Filled with remorse, he offers her the heart of a wild animal instead. As Snow White flees into the depths of the haunted forest, she stumbles upon a decrepit cottage inhabited by the Seven Dwarfs. But don't let their innocent appearance fool you. In the original Grimm version, the dwarves were not jolly companions. They were grotesque, misshapen creatures who reveled in the macabre. As Snow White seeks refuge with the dwarfs, the Queen discovers her survival and embarks on a quest to end her life once and for all. The Queen employs dark sorcery, creating a series of grotesque disguises to deceive and harm Snow White, from poison combs to cursed corsets.
Her methods are as horrifying as they are cunning.
But it is the infamous poisoned apple that stands as the pinnacle of horror in this tale. The Queen, disguising herself as an old hag, presents Snow White with an apple that has been infused with a deadly poison. When Snow White takes a bite, she falls into a death-like slumber, trapped in a state of eternal torment. In the original Grimm version, Snow White remains in her slumbering state until a prince stumbles upon her glass coffin. Enchanted by her beauty, he becomes obsessed and demands to take Snow White to his castle. The prince's intentions are not as noble as they seem, for he intends to keep Snow White as a twisted trophy of lifeless, preserved beauty for his own sick pleasure. The dark and horrifying origins of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs remind us that fairy tales were once cautionary tales cautioning against the dangers that lurk in the shadows. These stories served as a warning of the wickedness and depravity that can exist in the human heart. That concludes our chilling exploration of the dark origins of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Join me next time as we continue to unearth the haunting truths behind your favorite tales. Until then, beware the apple's deceitful allure, and remember, evil can be found even in the most enchanting of stories.
Thanks again for listening to the Devil's Den podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and a review. To catch the latest from me, you can follow me on Instagram at Wicked Majesty and also on Facebook, Wicked Majesty. Thanks again, and I will see you next time. Sleep tight and don't let the shadows fight.